Hey y'all, this is Crystal. I'm back. I've got a slight addendum to my 2022 reading plans. A couple new things have come to light. Some things have been added. Uh, so I just wanted to make a couple of little videos to just to kind of mark these changes so that I have something to look back on and kind of reflect on at the end of the year. So the first that I'm going to talk about in this video is the Books in the Freezer 2022 challenge. They announced it, I think, after I had made my plans video. So I didn't include it in that video, but I do enjoy taking part in this challenge. I did the 2021 one, and so I like to support this Books in the Freezer podcast because I love it. I'll link below all of their info if you're interested. So they've got another year of 12 prompts. So if you read one book a month, then you're doing good. And they got some good prompts this year. So let's dive in and see what I've chosen this year. So number one, I actually don't have a book for because it's a horror novel that is published in 2022. I'm not going to pick anything for it. I will read some sort of new release this year, or 2022. I don't know what yet, of course. I'll read something, So I'll pencil that one in once I've read something. So on to number two, which is a spooky non-fiction book. Now, of course, I'm trying to pick books that I already own, right? And I've done a very good job, if I say so myself. So, spooky nonfiction. This one we got in a Nightworms package several months ago. America's First Serial Killer, Jane Toppin and the Making of a Monster by Mary K. McBrayer. Doesn't that sound great? So, looks like Behind the Mind of a Deadly Poisoner. Very cool. I'm very interested in this. She was called Jolly Jane. Okay, yeah. Very excited about that. Okay, yeah. That sounds great. Number two is a hybrid horror. So I will be diving back into this. I read one story out of this book so far. I'm diving back in at some point. Midnight, what's it called? Midnight from Beyond the Stars. This is an anthology of like sci-fi horror, which I really enjoy. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into this one. This is a Silver Shamrock thing. So, yeah. Very cool. So, yep. I like sci-fi horror too. All right, next one. I don't know. I've lost track already. A horror book in translation. They had this on last year on the 2021 list, and I'm so glad that they put it back on the 2022. I'm going to dive into Mouthful of Birds by Samantha Schweblin. This will be my third book by Samantha? No. Fourth book? Third book. I don't know. Something's book by Samantha Schweblin. This is translated by Megan McDowell. Now, like I said, this is a collection of short stories. Schweblin, maybe she's horror, maybe she's not, but her books, they always have an uneasiness to them, so I think she'll fit right in to Books in the Freezer. Okay, a horror graphic novel. I'm going to be picking up Shiver by Junji Ito for this one. I recently purchased this on the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale, but we won't talk about that. And this is actually also a story collection. And I'm excited. I haven't read this one yet. I love this cover. Oh my god. I'm very excited. Next is to read a horror novella. This is another Nightworms book. Knocking these Nightworms books. Dementia by Russell Coy. Love that cover. Nice and short. I don't know what this one's about, but Oh, we got a guy suffering from nightmarish visions of grotesque creatures. Yeah, fun. All right, next is a book with a one-word title. Y'all know I'm going to be reading Fear by Ronald Kelly sooner rather than later. So I'm definitely picking up this one. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay, a book with green or yellow on the cover. I will be reading Dracula. My copy has lots of yellow on the cover. I'm actually digging into this in January, so that'll be my January pick for this challenge. I've never read Dracula, so that'll be fun. LGBTQ plus horror novel. I'm gonna go with The Damnation Game. I don't know if there are any LGBTQ plus characters in here, but of course we know Clive Barker is a gay man, so and I've not read Damnation Game. There are things worse than death. There are games so seductively evil, so wondrously vile, no gambler can resist. Ooh, amid the shadow-scarred rubble of World War II, Joseph Whitehead dared to challenge the dark champion of life's ultimate game. That's all I'm going to read, because that's all I need to know. That sounds good. All right. Next one is a book with a black protagonist, and I'm going to go of One Blood or The Hidden Self by Pauline Hopkins. This is part of the Horror Writers Association. They have these. They have a few out now. The Haunted Library of Horror Classics. And Pauline Hopkins, let's see, what was the date of this? Wrote this in. It was first published in 1902-1903 by the Colored Cooperative Publishing Company. And it just, oh my God, it sounds amazing. So when medical student Ruel Briggs reluctantly attends a performance by the beautiful singer Diane Lusk, he can't help but fall for her. The very next day, their paths cross again when Diane's train crashes. To bring her back from the brink of death, Ruel draws on an eerie power that he can't quite name. Soon the two are engaged, and Ruel, is that how you say that? Sets off on an archaeological expedition to Africa to offset his debts before the wedding. But in Ethiopia, unexpected danger and terror force him to confront the truth about his lineage, his power, and the history that lives in his very blood. That sounds amazing. And it's a classic. And it's a classic by a black female author. Hello. Yes. Thank you. All right, the next we've got a non-human monster. I think I've gotten these out of order. It's fine. I'm going to be diving into the Skeleton Man books by Joseph Bruchac. I have this little bind up that has The Legend of the Skeleton Man, and I think The Return of the Skeleton Man, I think, is a book too. These are middle grade books, but they sound really great. Joseph Bruchac is an indigenous author of Abenaki heritage, and a lot of his books reflect that. So Molly's father, who grew up on the Mohawk Reserve of Akwesasne, always had the best stories. One of her favorites was The Legend of Skeleton Man, a gruesome tale about a man with insatiable hunger. But ever since her parents mysteriously vanished, those spooky tales have started to feel all too real. That's all I'm going to read. So Skeleton Man definitely is a non-human character. So I've just been wanting to dive into Joseph Bruchac. I've got several of his books. Look at that. Can you see here? Spooky. All right, the last prompt is to read a YA horror book. I don't have tons, but I did have one. Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. This has definitely been on my shelf for a little while. So who are the Sawkill Girls? Marion is a new girl, awkward and plain. Zoe the pariah, luckless and lonely. Val the queen bee, gorgeous and privileged. Their stories come together on the island of Sawkill Rock, where gleaming horses graze in rolling pastures and cold waves crash against black cliffs, where kids whisper the legend of an insidious monster at parties and around campfires, where girls have been disappearing for decades, stolen away by ravenous evil no one has dared to fight until now. So this one sounds like a lot of fun. And like I said, I had it on my shelf for a while, so clear those shelves. So those are going to be the 12 books I'm going to work through this year for the books in the freezer challenge. Let me know, are you going to take part in the challenge? It's fun, especially if you like horror. Or have you read any of these books? Let me know. Are they good? And I think that's gonna do it. So that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks so much as always for watching. I'm always so appreciative of the time that you spend with me. And until next time, happy reading.